Where is my hat? Can't find my hat. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Top of my head is just freezing. No, that's mustard. Where's my hat? I feel like it's morning. Ah, yes.
Oh, Mr.
Way
Burr.
better.
¿Cómo estás?
Mr. Perez.
How are you?
Bien, bien.
I was checking internet and the historic of websites,
Yeah.
el historial, and I have found out here that someone was checking a website about lost hair, like how to, acerca de la pérdida de pelo, like how can you avoid that? Was that you? ¿Fuiste tú el de la website?
You mean the history on that?
I checked the history and I find out someone was checking about hair lost. ¿Fuiste tú?
Mr. Perez. Yeah, that was me.
Hairlost.com? how avoid the loss of your hair?
Yeah.
What are those
Mr. Perez.
websites?
I'm
Mr.
guilty. I'm guilty. Guy turns 40 years old.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Chequeando webs de pérdida de pelo?
It was a search engine. I was trying to get some information, like research skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
ese es
me.
un estándar.
That's
en
me.
Colorado.
Yeah, research skills.
So, ¿cuál es tu problema? ¿Qué pasa?
The problem is I got a haircut and
Corte de pelo, ya veo.
take a look, Mr. Perez.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's so
I know,
shiny.
it's
Es muy
blinding.
brillante. It's blinding.
You know, I'm suffering from a hair loss that my grandpa Earl actually he gave to me right here. My grandpa Earl.
Can I have a look to
Yeah, he always wore a hat.
I
But,
I wonder why.
And same thing that I was finding out. My top of my head gets cold even at like noon. It's almost 12 o'clock. It's not morning anymore.
So, Mr. Bird, how can we make a lesson about that? I mean, do you need some data? Do you need to? How can I help you? Or can I? ¿Cómo te puedo ayudar?
Hang on, Mr. Perez. I got to keep my head warm. It's a lot better.
So it's a nice hat, but you're not allowed to wear in the school, Mr. Bird. So,
Well, I guess what, Mr. Perez? When I got my haircut,
Dime.
I actually counted how many hairs I had on top of my head.
Ese es el número que tú tienes ahí. So
Yeah.
you were working on this today?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was actually
Estabas trabajando para este número 1,825,213. Can you say that in English?
Yeah. 1,825,213 hairs
¿Qué es eso?
on top of my head.
Oh, so this is the actual number,
Actual number.
el número exacto de pelos que tú tienes en tu cabeza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks like I have a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, but ¿qué es este número?
Oh, well, that's not the good part. That's what I am losing 126 hairs a day.
Oh, Mr. Bird, so permita que yo te diga algo. I see a lot of numbers. How can we simplify the number just in order to make it easier to work with? ¿Tú sabes alguna técnica? Porque I don't care like exactly to know exactly the number. I want a ballpark estimation. Quiero una estimación. ¿Cómo lo haces tú eso? Explain to me.
Mr. Perez, I care about the exact number. What is this ballpark estimation? I want to know exactly, but okay, never mind. Sorry.
It's not my concern. No, you cannot find
No.
gaps.
Gaps. Okay, well, I understand what you're saying. We ballpark, we got to think
1
about...
1 million, right?
Yeah.
Do you do it?
Yeah. So let's do some estimation,
Yeah.
okay? And a lot of times we like to maybe use what we call like front-end estimation, where we go all the way to our highest value, in this case, million.
So we can say that you have 1 million.
No.
Million, no?
We have a rule.
But you told me about the place value. It was a 1
I know,
million.
that's millions, but watch, Mr. Perez. We're going to go to our neighbor to the right.
Neighbor.
Yeah, in this case it's an 8, and
I have a noisy neighbor.
well, I can't help you with that. Anyway, Mr. Perez, our neighbor to the right is an 8, and I have a song that help us with rounding.
Okay.
And this is going to be good for me because I like what it's going to do. And if our neighbor to the right is a 5 or above, I get shoved.
¿Qué es shoved? Ay, yo no sé qué es eso.
Shoved up.
Okay, like lifted, como el elevado. Oh.
Kind of. So in this case, if I'm using rounding and I'm rounding to the nearest millions,
1 million.
if my neighbor to the right is
ahora
5 or
entiendo.
above, I get shoved to a 2.
So, si mi vecino es más de 5, entonces yo me levanto.
Well, I don't know what you
No,
said there, but
Okay, but doesn't rhyme in Spanish, but
oh, it doesn't rhyme in Spanish.
So 1 million goes to so yo entiendo. Entonces este número es como redondeamos a los millones y lo subimos. No es 1 millón, es 2 millones.
Let me give you another
Porque
example,
es
Mr.
mucho.
President. What if I had just a simple, let's make this a little easier, 456, and I'm rounding to the nearest 100. So this is me, 100, and
So it can be 400 or 500. But
My-
I pick 500 because the neighbor,
My neighbor to
el
the
vecino es 5 más. Por tanto, 500. That's my ballpark, 500.
very
estimation.
good. My neighbor to the right is a 5,
ahora
5
entiendo.
or above, I get shoved.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah.
What happens if I'm like this? 325, rounding to the nearest 100.
Okay.
Hold
Ya
on.
sé hacer eso.
Rounding to the nearest 100.
Este es 100. Primero yo le hago un círculo al que quiero y
Neighbor
después
to the right.
3 or 4. 300 or 400. I have to decide. 300 or 400. I stick on 300.
Yeah.
Porque es 2, el neighborhood. El neighbor.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Here I am
done.
again. My neighbor to the right. If it's a 5 or above, I get shoved.
No.
Here's my new line.
Okay.
If it's 4 or below, lay it low and stay the same. Lay it low.
Oh, eso está muy
300.
bien. You always have those like songs or
Yeah,
I like it.
5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or below, lay it low and stay
Wow.
the same. That
You
is
should have been a rapper.
Yeah.
Deberías haber sido un rapero. Bueno,
Okay.
Mr. Bird.
What?
So,
Mr. Perez.
vamos a llevar esto a. I want to know something. ¿Cuánto pelo tú vas a tener mañana? How many hair are you gonna have tomorrow? So I think it's a difference between the hair today and the hair that you are missing every day. So I think you should subtract. Creo que tienes que restar el pelo que tienes al que estás perdiendo cada día.
Okay.
So, but before that, antes que eso, let's estimate. Vamos a estimar.
Okay.
126, according what you told me, goes to 200 or 100. 100.
Our neighbor to the right tells me he has the keys to my answer. Listen to this. Our neighbor holds the key.
Okay.
5 or above, I get shoved.
No.
4 or below,
Lay
lay it low.
Leave it low.
Or leave it alone. How about
Leave
that?
it alone.
Leave
I
it
like
alone.
that.
I like that.
So 100.
Uh-huh.
So 2 millions. If you si tú le quitas 100
Oh
es
boy.
1.999.900. So mañana vas a tener esto.
That's what I'm going to have tomorrow?
Sí, pero yo creo que you want to know exactly. So,
Yeah.
do you want to make the
problem?
problem for me like accurate? This is the estimation.
Wow, how'd you do that so fast?
Yeah, in my mind, you know.
Okay. All right, yeah, so I want to know exactly how many hairs I'm going to lose. So I'm going to write this a little nicer for me.
Okay.
I have
1.800.000.
825,214 hairs.
13, Mr.
No,
Bird.
I just grew one.
No, my goodness, don't, no. Don't be that optimistic.
I can feel something happening up here. And I'm going to subtract, oh man, 126 are going to fall out tonight? That's not good. That's bad. All right, so Mr. Perez, Man, I have regrouping alarms going off again. I can't do that if I'm
You can,
three.
no puedes quitarle 6 a
I have
3.
3 hairs, but 6 are going to come out. I got to go with my neighbor.
Okay, neighbor.
All right, regrouping. Here we
This
go.
is all about neighbor, Mr. Burr.
Yeah, it's a lot of neighbor stuff. That one's
0.
going to give that 0. Give me his 1 or her 1.
Okay.
13 take away 6. We can handle that.
7.
Okay, good. 0. Ah, nah. Regrouping alarm. Hang on. 2's going to help. 2's going to turn to a 1. Now I'm a 10. 10 take away 2. 8. That's no problem.
Awesome.
1 take away 1. Yep. Everything else looks good. 5, 2, 8, 5.
No, again, too optimistic, Mr. Burr. I think you are doing that on purpose.
No, that was a slip. Oh, so
So, Mr. Burr,
what?
I'm sorry about this data.
It's not as good as
You can borrow some.
Mr. President. I don't want your hair. It's too gray. Okay. Well, anyway, 4th graders,
Up to you.
we're gonna have to really hone in on our rounding skills, estimating.
And
regrouping.
regrouping alarms.
Yep. I'm Mr. Burr.
Mr. Pérez, hasta mañana.
Adios.